Welcome to All Force e-learning. Today we are going to discuss about the female reproductive system. Now already we have completed the male reproductive system. This is a female reproductive system. Now, what are the different parts of female reproductive system? Now like male reproductive system, the female reproductive system also has the following parts: primary sex organs, secondary sex organs, as well as external genitalia. Now here is the female reproductive system. It consists of the following parts. Here is primary sex organs, secondary sex organs, female external genitalia, Now primary sex organs, already mentioned, primary means related to production of gametes. The part of the reproductive system in female which produce gametes is nothing but ovary. Now here is one pair of ovary. This is ovary. This is one pair. It comprises of the female sex organ. The female sex organ, the primary, this is primary female sex organ is ovary, which produce the gamete called as ova. Hence this is what we are saying, ovary is the primary sex organ. Secondary sex organs. Now the secondary sex organs may also consist of here is a duct system as well as accessory glands. Here also accessory glands. Now the duct system, now it consists of a pair of fallopian tubes. Here is fallopian tubes, also called as uterine tubes, as well as there is a uterus which supports the zygote for implantation and results in nourishment, as well as vagina. Fallopian tubes, uterus, vagina. Now this forms a duct system. Now accessory glands include, here is two accessory glands are there, Bartholin glands, Skene's glands. Now these two are accessory. Now duct system consists of fallopian tubes, uterus, vagina, whereas accessory glands consist of Bartholin glands, Skene's glands. Now female external genitalia. Now female external genitalia, it consists of following parts. They are vestibule. This is what we are saying. Now this vestibule actually covered, vestibule means an opening normally, but this vestibule is covered by, these are the two structures what we are calling as labia. Now this is, I will write here, labia majora, labia minora, as well as clitoris. Labia majora, labia minora, clitoris. Now along with this there is hymen. Now this may or may not be present, but it means it may be lost during, but these are the ones majora, minora, clitoris, labia majora, labia minora, clitoris. Now which is wrapped around, and this is what we call it as vulva or pedundum. That part which is present outside towards outside. Now we will discuss this also. Primary sex organs ovary, this is one pair. Secondary sex organs duct system, accessory glands. Duct system consists of fallopian tubes, uterus, vagina. Accessory glands consist of Bartholin glands, Skene's glands. Now female external genitalia, labia majora, minora as well as clitoris. Now we will discuss here first ovary. This is a primary sex organ along with the duct system. Now here these ovaries along with accessory glands, what are those accessory glands? Now the accessory glands include those which are uterus, fallopian tubes along with vagina, and along with this there are mammary glands. Now all these structures along with the ovary support the process called as ovulation, fertilization, and then gestation, and finally childbirth and child care. What are those structures? The structures such as the ovaries along with the duct system plus mammary glands are useful for the process what we are saying, fertilization, ovulation, fertilization, gestation, finally parturition, childbirth, and finally child care by the mammary glands which are producing milk. Now all this event takes place after fertilization. Okay. Now here is first ovaries, primary sex organs, ovaries. Ovaries. Ovaries, we have said ovaries means a pair. Ovaries are a pair. A pair. Now where they are present? Present in lower abdomen. Present in the lower abdominal region, either side of the vertebral column attached to the dorsal wall. Now this is present in the lower abdomen and they remain in the abdomen. Like testes, they won't descend. After formation, they remain in the abdomen. They are present abdominal only, present in the lower abdominal. And their shape here is almond shaped. Almond shaped. Now size is nearly, this is 3.5 to 4 centimeters length and 2 centimeters breadth, 1 centimeter thick. Now this is a size, a pair present in the lower abdomen, shape is almond shaped, size is 3.5 to 4 nearly. Now in some books they may be given 3, now 2 centimeters breadth, 1 centimeter thick, present in the lower abdominal area. Now how actually it looks like? Almond shaped. Now here is we will be with the help of diagram, we will be discussing this one, ovaries. If you observe these ovaries, it show the following structure. Here is, this is the ovary. Now large diagram, a big diagram. Here this is the ovary. Now this ovary, it consists of, there is outer covering. Now this outer covering is lined by cuboidal epithelium which forms its germinal epithelium. Now here is outer covering, this outer covering, it is having cube shaped cells. Now this is cube shaped cells. Now what are these cube shaped cells are called as? Now these cube shaped cells are called as germinal epithelium. This is the germinal epithelium which surrounds the ovary. It means in male reproductive system, cuboidal epithelium is present inside the seminiferous tubules, whereas in females, the germinal epithelium is present towards outside. Okay. What we are saying is, in females, the germinal epithelium is present outside. Now this is cuboidal epithelium. This is the cuboidal epithelium which forms germinal epithelium. This is the germinal epithelium. Which consists of cube shaped cells present outside the ovary. Now just below the germinal epithelium, there is a white fibrous connective tissue. This is called as tunica albuginea. It means tunica albuginea is present outside, inside to the germinal epithelium. It means below the germinal epithelium. Below the germinal epithelium, there is a white fibrous connective tissue. What we call this as tunica albuginea. This is the tunica albuginea. Now this tunica albuginea is present outside. Now, inner side. Now this entire structure of this ovary is called as stroma. The entire structure of this ovary is inside, is what we call it as stroma. Now this stroma is differentiated into outer granular thick and inner non-granular with blood vessels, lymphatic system and nerves. What we are saying, inside here and outside here, if you observe, there is this entire structure is called as stroma. This is called as stroma. Now stroma is differentiated into outer. Now this outer part is called as cortex. Cortex means ovarian cortex. Now the inner part is called as medulla. This is ovarian medulla. The part of the ovary is called as stroma, which is divided into outer granular. Now this is what we are saying, outer granular cortex. Now this outer granular cortex consists of different stages of development of ovarian follicles. Now we observe here different stages of developing ovarian follicles. Now these are the ovarian follicles are present in the cortex region, whereas the stroma, this stroma part, it consists of blood vessels. Now these are the blood vessels along with the lymphatic system, blood vessels and lymph vessels along with the nerves. Now this part is what we are saying, medulla, the stroma entire part which is differentiated into outer cortex, inner medulla. Outer cortex consists of granular and having large number of different maturity of Graafian follicles. It means Graafian follicles are at different stages of development, whereas the inner medulla part consists of blood vessels, lymph vessels along with nerves. Now this part is what we are saying, medulla. Okay, this is the medulla part, this is the cortex part, the entire together called as stroma. Now outside there is tunica albuginea. Now outside to tunica albuginea, cuboidal epithelium, which is called as germinal epithelium, which forms oogonial mother cells. It means during the development, embryonic development, when the female child is in the womb of the mother. Now these are the ones, germinal epithelium, or otherwise also called as ovigerous cords, or otherwise egg nest they are called as. Now these are the ones which actually forms these Graafian follicles. Now after birth, no new Graafian follicle is added to the ovary. At the time of birth, how many they are present? They will remain up to puberty. It means this germinal epithelium or ovigerous cord or egg nest is the site for the production of this Graafian follicle consisting of ova. Okay. Now it is attached here to the body wall by a structure. This is called as mesovarium. Now mesovarium is the connective tissue with which the ovary is attached to the body wall. Okay. Now this is about the ovary. This is about the ovary. Now the ovary, once again I repeat, a pair of ovaries present on either side of the abdominal cavity in the lower abdominal. Now the shape is almond shaped. Now it shows the following structure. The outermost covering of the ovary is having germinal epithelium. Unlike in males, germinal epithelium is present inside the seminiferous tubule, it is present outside. Just below there is a fibrous connective tissue. This is called as tunica albuginea. Then the entire part of the ovary is called as stroma. Stroma is divided into outer cortex, which is granular and thick, whereas inner medulla, which is non-granular and having blood vessels and lymphatic vessels along with the nerves. Now this entire structure is attached to the abdominal wall by a connective tissue called as mesovarium. Okay, this is the female ovaries where they are present in the abdominal cavity. Now next, uterus. This is uterus, that is fallopian tubes and then uterus. Now this, for this we have to draw another diagram to show the other structure. Now here is fallopian tubes. Also called as uterine tube. Uterine tube, fallopian tube or uterine tube, they are also called as. Now, what are these structures and where they are present? Now here is, first we will draw the entire structure of the female reproductive system. Here is, this is the uterus along with fallopian tubes. Now here this is one ovary. Now this is another ovary. This is paired ovaries. Now this ovary is releasing ova. This one or this one, both of them. Every month one ovary will release one ovum alternately. Now here this tube, what we are saying, this is one. This is the tube. Now what we call this as fallopian tube, or otherwise also called as uterine tube. Now what is this fallopian tube or uterine tube is? Now how can we define this is fallopian tubes? Now fallopian tubes are small tubules which are present, starts here at the anterior side with a opening. What is this opening is called as ostium. Now, what is the structures actually? The fallopian tubes are the structures which actually collects and conducts the ovum. Now, here ovary, after releasing ovum, they are collected by this ostium. Ostium is the opening of the fallopian tube. Now, this fallopian tube, it has finger-like structures at the anterior side. This is called as fimbriae. Now, when ova is released, they show movement and collect the ova. Because ova is released into the coelomic cavity. The ova which is released into the coelomic cavity is collected by the anterior part of the fallopian tube, which is having finger-like structures called as fimbriae. Now, inside this is a inside this uterine tube, this ovum which is collected, now it passes through by the peristaltic movement of the fallopian tube. Fallopian tube also shows or uterine tube also shows peristaltic movement, because female gamete ova is non-motile, it does not move because of the presence of ciliated cells as well as there are glandular cells which are present inside. Now, the ciliated cells along with the peristaltic movement, the ova moves in the fallopian tube, and this anterior part of this fallopian tube, now it moves through and it reaches here. This part is what we are wider part of the fallopian tube. This is called as ampulla. Now, this ampulla is connected to the uterus through a fine or very narrow duct of the uterus. This is called as isthmus. Now, it means here the uterine tube is divided into three parts. The first part, this is infundibulum. Infundibulum, its anterior side, it is having finger-like structures, what they are called as fimbriae. Now, these fimbriae are useful for the collection of, because this fimbriae, when the ovum is released, it shows peristaltic that is, it shows movement and it collects the ovum, and through peristaltic movement it reaches into ampulla. Ampulla is the wider part of the uterine wall, uterine tube, or otherwise fallopian tube. Now, this ampulla wider part, it is connected to the uterus by another narrow tube. This is called as isthmus. Now, hence the fallopian tube is divided into three parts: the first, the second, the last. That is the infundibulum, ampulla, isthmus. Infundibulum with finger-like projection, useful for collection. Then peristaltic movement, ampulla is the place where it is present, fertilization takes place here. After fertilization, the ova through peristaltic movement again moves through this isthmus onto the uterine wall. Now, this is the fallopian tube or uterine tube. Now, this side one, left and right fallopian tubes. Now, here this is also the fimbriae, this is the infundibulum, this is the ampulla, this is the isthmus. Okay, this is hence we are saying a pair of fallopian tubes present attached to the uterus. Uterine tube, they are also called as. Now, here is this uterine tube, this is what we are saying. What is this structure? Uterus. Now, here this uterus become narrow at this part. It become narrow at this part. Now, this narrow part is what we call it as cervix. Now, we will discuss this one. First, uterine tube, or otherwise also called as fallopian tube. Now, these fallopian tubes are also attached to the abdominal wall by mesosplanchnics. Now, mesosalpinx is that connective tissue with which the uterine tubes are attached to the abdominal wall. Okay. This is about fallopian tubes. Next, here is uterus. Uterus. Now, uterus also called as womb. Uterus also called as womb. Now, what is this uterus? Uterus, what is the shape of the uterus? Now, here this is that uterus. Now, this structure, this entire structure is what we call it as uterus. Uterus is a pyriform or inverted pear shaped. It is pyriform or inverted pyramid shaped, or simply we use the word pear shaped, inverted pear shaped. Now, this entire structure, this is called as uterus. This entire structure is called as uterus. Okay. Inverted pear shaped structure or pyramid shaped structure or pyriform structure, this is. Okay. Now, here uterus, what is the parts which are there in the uterus? Now, the anterior wider part, this is called as fundus. This is called as fundus. Whereas, this part, it becomes narrow part here, this narrow part, this region is called as cervix. The anterior part which is having broader, this is fundus. Now, the narrow part posterior, this is called as cervix. Okay. Now, here it shows the entire structure. This is called as body. This is called as this structure. At this region, this part is called as body of the uterus. Now, this is fundus. Now, from here to here, this is body of the uterus. Now, this part, narrow part where it opens into vagina. Now, this part where it opens into vagina. Now, it is called as cervix. Okay. Now, this uterus is lined by 3 layers from outside to inside. Now, this is the outer capsule. This is the outer capsule. Now, which is made up of thin or loose connective tissue. This is called as perimetrium. Whereas, the middle, this one, from here to here, this one, this middle part, this part is called as myometrium. Now, whereas inner part, this is the innermost part where highly vascular, this part. Now, this part, highly vascular inner part is called as endometrium. This is called as endometrium. Now, it means here there is perimetrium, myometrium, endometrium. Perimetrium, outer covering made up of peritoneum. Peri means around, metria means related to uterus. This is outer covering. Then myometrium, this is the part which is thickest part of the uterus. Now, we call this as myometrium. Myometrium is having smooth muscles useful for contraction during parturition. These are the uterine muscles which undergo contraction for expulsion of the baby. Then here, this is innermost layer, this is called as endometrium. This endometrium is the one which actually releases blood during menstrual cycle. It means the endometrium, it undergoes breakdown during menstrual cycle. Now, hence this is a highly vascular and glandular, and glandular. And glandular. Now simply what we are saying here is uterus, or otherwise we are saying womb. Uterus or womb. It is a pyriform inverted pyramid shaped or pear shaped. Now this one is. Now anterior side, the wider part is called as fundus. Then this is the body. The narrow posterior part, this is the cervix. Now cervix opens into vagina. Now here this narrow part, the uterus opens into vagina, there is cervix. So cervix has internal, it has connected to the uterus. Now here this is external, it is connected to vagina. This part is called as internal os. Internal os. Whereas this part where it is connected to vagina, this part is called as external os. Through internal os it is connected, cervix. Cervix, through internal os it is connected to uterus, through external os it is connected to vagina. Okay. Now if you observe, this is what are the three layers with which the uterus is made up of. Outermost covering of loose connective tissue, very thin, this is called as perimetrium, covering the entire uterine tube. Then the thick middle part, this is called as myometrium, which is made up of smooth muscle, useful for contraction. Then inner layer, this is having highly vascular and glandular, this part is called as endometrium. This is highly vascular and glandular. This is the part which is lost during menstrual flow in the form of blood. Hence this is the vascular and glandular part, muscular part, outermost covering. This is perimetrium, myometrium, endometrium. The uterus. Uterus is also connected to the body wall by mesometrium. Here is mesometrium. Now mesometrium is that connective tissue with which the uterus is connected to the body wall. Okay. Now this is how it looks like. Normally these are the uterine tubes get attached here. Next, the cervix leads into a structure called as vagina. Now this cervix opens into vagina. Now you may not be able to see this part. Now I will draw here this part. Now here is. Now this is the final last one. This is the last structure. This is cervix. Now this is that cervix. Cervix opens into this part is what we are saying, vagina. Now this is the vagina. Now vagina is a highly muscular without any glands, highly muscular bag like, which is the organ which receives penis during copulation. Now it means this is a copulatory organ in female. Vagina is the copulatory organ in female which receives penis. Now here this is cervix opens into uterus by this os. This is what we are saying, internal os. Now the cervix opens here into the vagina by external os. Now the cervix along with vagina together form birth canal. Cervix along with vagina, it forms birth canal, because this is vagina is the part which actually the sperm is released here into the vagina. Okay. Now this is about uterus and vagina. Now briefing this one again, uterus or womb. Now this is that structure which is inverted pear shaped structure. This is pear shaped structure or pyriform structure, we call it as. The anterior part wider is called as fundus, the posterior part, this region is called as cervix. Okay. Now the middle part is called as body. It is made up of 3 muscle layers, not muscle layers, sorry, 3 layers. Outer perimetrium consists of connective tissue, thin, middle myometrium made up of smooth muscles, shows contraction, inner having blood vessels, highly vascularized and glandular. Now, it is the one which breaks down during menstrual cycle. Now, it is the part actually where implantation takes place. Implantation takes place in this glandular part, which actually provides nourishment because of the glands. Then it opens into cervix through internal os. Now, through external os, this is to the vagina, that is into the vagina. Then vagina, it is also single, muscular, bag like, non-glandular, receives penis during copulation. This part is okay. Now, this is about the vagina up to here. Okay. Now, uterus is connected here to the abdominal wall by this is a ligament. Now, there is a 2 ligaments, a broad ligament is present. This is the broad ligament with which the uterus is connected, and there is a round ligament. There are 2 ligaments, which it means the entire uterus is connected here with the help of ligament. Now, this is a broad ligament, this is a round ligament with which the uterus is connected to the abdominal wall. Okay. Now, with this we end this session. In the next session we will discuss the other structures, that is the vulva along with the secondary, what we call it as accessory glands. Thank you.